So, a dedicated viewer who runs a weekly podcast recently hit me up with a truly massive question that many creators struggle with daily. Her core challenge was figuring out how to efficiently turn those long, valuable podcast episodes into a stream of short, attention-grabbing clips. She specifically wanted the volume, the overall pacing, and the entire vibe of every single clip to feel perfectly consistent for her audience. If the volume suddenly jumps or the energy drastically shifts, listeners scrolling through their feed will naturally disengage and keep moving. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to solve this consistency problem by focusing on the fundamental principles of good editing. More importantly, I'll show you how a powerful tool, which we will call Vizard for this demonstration, can shoulder about 80% of that entire tedious workflow for you. I have a couple of the episode audio files she sent over here, all recorded under the same conditions with the same high-quality microphone setup. But as you know, in any long recording, some parts are naturally loud and highly animated, while others are quiet and reflective, containing pure gold for a clip. Before we get deep into any specific software, let's firmly agree on the final objective we are chasing with these short-form assets. Ultimately, we want polished, instantly understandable clips that feel totally consistent and snackable for viewers on the go. Think of them as little, high-value, ad-free trailers specifically designed to compel someone to seek out the full-length original episode. The very first manual task I always tackle is panning through the entire episode timeline to hunt down those exceptional, standalone moments. For a great clip, you absolutely need a strong hook that grabs attention within the first 2 to 5 seconds of playback. That opening needs to quickly lead to a clear, concise point and ideally finish with a genuine, emotional, or surprising payoff before the clip cuts off. These are the specific moments that genuinely halt the endless scrolling habit people have developed online. Listen closely for short, compelling anecdotes, genuinely witty one-liners, well-articulated debates, or very quick, actionable tips. Those are always the true audio gold. Now, imagine you were tackling this monumental task completely manually, without any intelligent assistance whatsoever. You would have to join the raw segments, manually trim every single cut, meticulously balance the audio levels, add burned-in captions, and then pick specific thumbnails. After all that, you'd need to export in multiple aspect ratios and finally schedule every single post across different platforms one by one. It is absolutely doable, but let's be real, that entire process quickly devolves into a soul-crushing, time-consuming slog every single week. This is precisely the moment where a dedicated tool like Vizard fundamentally changes the entire operational game for content creators. Instead of dedicating a full afternoon just to process one long episode, Vizard will automatically pinpoint those viral-looking moments for you. It then creates optimized short clips tailored for every major platform and lets you cue them logically onto a content calendar instantly. But let's step back from the hype for a moment and examine a step-by-step workflow that mirrors what I personally do, showing how Vizard maps to each necessary stage. Step 1, which is the initial clip identification, is where manually I scrub the waveform, looking for where the energy suddenly spikes or a key sentence lands with a real punch. In the example episode she sent, we had several areas of low, quiet reflection mixed in with a few highly energetic personal stories that demanded attention. Vizard's advanced auto-editing algorithm handles this heavy lifting by finding those precise engagement spikes based on heuristics derived from successful shows. It analyzes factors like sentence length, sudden pitch change, and even audience attention signals gleaned from thousands of similar content pieces to make its initial suggestions. Of course, you still maintain creative oversight, reviewing all the AI suggestions to pick only what genuinely feels correct for your brand's voice. Step 2 is all about the essential trimming and joining process, where you eliminate any awkward, dead air right at the beginning or the very end. If you have a couple of quick, related thoughts scattered around, you might need to join them together to form one cohesive narrative idea. Vizard significantly streamlines this by allowing you to stitch these parts together while automatically smoothing out any abrupt transitions so the final clip never feels jarring. It's essentially like having an incredibly patient, meticulous editor sitting next to you who instinctively knows to never leave even a half second of dead space. Step 3 addresses the critical area of audio balance and ensuring the overall tone remains consistent from one clip to the next, which trips up so many creators. Clips sound uneven because speakers naturally lean into or away from the microphone differently across the span of an hour-long recording session. When manually balancing, I always check 3 things: ensuring quiet parts sit nicely on playback meters, preventing loud parts from clipping into distortion, and maintaining perceived loudness. With manual editing, this requires applying noise reduction, equalization, compression, and final normalization, just like polishing any high-quality podcast segment. Vizard automates this complex loudness matching process, but it also provides simple, intuitive sliders if you want to dial in exactly how punchy or how natural the final sound should be. For most podcast repurposing into short-form social content, I personally aim for a target loudness that sounds friendly on most mobile devices, usually around -14 LUFS. The beauty of the tool is that it handles these technical standards for you, completely removing the need to memorize complex audio engineering terminology. Step 4, and please do not skip this crucial part, involves adding accurate captions and subtitles because so many people consume content on mute. Vizard automatically generates highly accurate captions and ensures they are perfectly timed to synchronize with the spoken words down to the millisecond. You then have the flexibility to tweak any tiny misheard word and style the captions to strictly align with your established visual brand identity. This entire captions turnaround time becomes significantly faster than any manual transcription service and far more aesthetically consistent. Step 5 deals with the inherent inefficiency of creating entirely separate versions for the key aspect ratios, vertical 916, square 111, and landscape 16.9. The tool intelligently exports in all those formats and applies smart cropping so that the main subject or speaker always remains perfectly centered in the frame. Thumbnails are equally vital because they are the true first impression, and the best ones usually feature an expressive face paired with a very short, punchy text line. Vizard assists here too, suggesting prime frames that capture emotion and overlaying text elements which you can then easily fine-tune to your liking. When crafting that winning thumbnail, always aim for big, clear eyes, a very short reinforcing phrase, and high contrast to make it pop. Step 6 brings us to the strategic element of cadence and consistent scheduling, which my viewer desperately wanted to automate completely. Manually coordinating uploads across multiple platforms on a tight weekly timeline quickly becomes an absolute administrative nightmare for any busy creator. Vizard's auto-schedule feature empowers you to set a specific posting frequency, such as exactly 3 clips every single week without fail. You can also define quiet days, prioritize certain platforms for specific content types, or even save specialized schedules for seasonal promotions. My personal rule of thumb for maintaining healthy audience discoverability is to aim for 3 to 5 short clips per week for a weekly show, which prevents creator burnout. Step 7 is about using the content calendar as a living document for iterative improvement and performance analysis across your entire output. This integrated calendar consolidates every upcoming post, allows for midstream edits, and clearly shows precisely where each clip is scheduled to land. After just a couple of weeks of consistent posting, you must circle back and analyze which clips truly perform the best with your audience. Then you ask, was the success because of a strong opening hook, a perfectly chosen thumbnail, or perhaps the specific topic discussed in the segment? Take those specific learnings and consciously apply them to refine the clip selections and presentations for all subsequent content you produce. Think of that content calendar not as a task list, but truly as your essential lab notebook for audience behavior experimentation. Now, I have certainly tested a wide variety of other editing platforms available on the market, and they often have significant trade-offs. For instance, Tool A might offer fantastic automatic highlight generation, but then it harshly charges you a fee per final export and completely fails on long, complex episodes. Alternatively, Tool B might possess an incredibly beautiful, intuitive editor, but it offers zero integrated scheduling or content calendar management, forcing you back to manual posting. This is why Vizard's powerful combination of automatic clip detection, reliable auto-scheduling, and an integrated planning calendar presents such a uniquely practical solution. It's specifically designed for creators who demand both speed in production and the absolute final control over their brand presentation. To be clear, it is certainly not a magic button. You absolutely still need to review every single suggested highlight to ensure it aligns perfectly with your show's intent. However, the benefit is a dramatic, measurable reduction in the time it takes to get an episode published across all your social channels. Let me share a tangible success story from that very podcast viewer I mentioned earlier to truly illustrate the time savings. She had one 40-minute episode which contained roughly 12 distinct, highly clip-worthy segments scattered throughout its runtime. Using Vizard, she successfully exported all 12 suggested clips in approximately 15 minutes, which is an incredible starting point. From there, she only needed to review and lightly tweak 5 of those clips for exact caption phrasing and final thumbnail text polish. She then set a simple 3-clip per week posting schedule, lining up an entire month of promotional content in under 60 minutes total time investment. Compare that effortless hour of work to her previous workflow, where she would often spend 3 to 4 full hours just chopping, captioning, and scheduling clips from a single episode. Now, let's quickly review some of the professional tips I always impart to creators looking to maximize this short-form output immediately. My primary guidance is to always aim for a clip length between 20 and 60 seconds, understanding that shorter is generally superior for maximum impact on Reels and TikTok. You must, without fail, front-load that crucial hook because the initial 2 to 3 seconds are your only real chance to make a scrolling user actually pause their thumb. Reinforce that initial grab by strategically utilizing clear captions and very short, impactful on-screen text that summarizes the point. When it comes to thumbnails, actively test variations. See if a clear face performs better than a purely graphic element or a text-first approach. Crucially, work hard to maintain an absolutely consistent voice and overarching branding across all your clips so your audience begins to immediately recognize your content. And for those of you deeply concerned with performance data, pay close attention to the analytics after a couple of weeks of posting. Specifically, you need to look at the retention curves for those clips, as anything holding above a 60% completion rate is performing exceptionally well. Once you identify those high-performing styles, you must consciously iterate and apply those successful elements to the content you select moving forward. So, if you are the kind of modern creator who values keeping that crucial creative control but absolutely despises the time-sucking busy work, systems like Vizard offer you a fast route. It provides a repeatable framework. Auto-detect the best clips, polish the sound and captions, export platform-ready files, and then schedule them at the right cadence for your listeners. This process isn't some form of digital magic where the machine makes all your creative choices for you. You are still the ultimate arbiter of what represents your show. But it is the tangible difference between spending hours grinding away at tedious tasks and spending that valuable time actually creating even better, more engaging core content. If you are genuinely interested in seeing this in action, feel free to send me 2 small snippets from your next episode right now. I will personally demonstrate how I would select 4 excellent clips and map out a sensible, non-spammy posting cadence for them across an entire month. We will specifically analyze the hook strategy, the thumbnail design choices, and a posting frequency that respects your audience's attention span. Honestly speaking, once you get this entire automated content pipeline truly humming, you will wonder how you ever manage the production process without it. And if you crave more technical specifics, like the exact loudness targets or ideal thumbnail text character counts, I will certainly dedicate the next video to those fine details. For the time being, I encourage you to reset your mental model and start thinking fundamentally in terms of the core three elements: the initial hook, the necessary context, and the final payoff. These three components are the absolute bedrock that makes any short-form content successful, and Vizard is simply the tool that helps you produce them with unbelievable speed and unwavering consistency. By automating the mechanics of editing, captioning, exporting, and scheduling, you free up your creative energy for higher-level show development. Embrace the automation to eliminate the grunt work, allowing you to dedicate your limited resources to making truly better, more insightful content for your dedicated community. Stop getting bogged down in the technical weeds of post-production and start focusing on what actually drives audience interest and long-term loyalty. Imagine reclaiming 3 hours of your work week just by implementing this streamlined, AI-assisted content repurposing system today. That reclaimed time can be immediately reinvested into better guest outreach, deeper show research, or simply taking a well-deserved break. The key takeaway is shifting your focus from manual production tasks to strategic content distribution and audience relationship building. This systematic approach ensures your valuable long-form audio insights are always reaching the widest possible audience in their preferred short-form native format. Think about the sheer volume of potential new listeners you miss out on simply because the friction of clip creation has kept your output too low. Unlock that potential by letting smart tools handle the repetitive parts so your unique voice and expertise can take center stage every single day. Consistency builds familiarity, familiarity builds trust, and trust is the only real currency that drives dedicated podcast subscribers. Don't let outdated editing habits be the single biggest bottleneck, preventing your podcast from achieving its maximum potential reach this year. By leveraging these automation principles, you are essentially building a high-speed distribution machine around your core recording effort. This transformation is not about becoming a less involved creator. It is about becoming a much smarter, more leveraged creator with the same amount of effort. Take control of your weekly output schedule and ensure every piece of content works as hard for you as your full-length episode does. The future of content marketing belongs to those who can produce high-quality volume without sacrificing the thoughtful polish that listeners truly crave. I highly encourage you to experiment with the AI-driven identification and scheduling features immediately to see this time-saving impact firsthand. Remember to always prioritize those captivating hooks, maintain crucial context, and deliver a satisfying payoff to maximize your viewership retention rates. This structured approach, supported by intelligent automation, is the secret sauce for sustainable, high-impact podcast growth in today's crowded digital landscape.